Hey, it's Michael with Jellyfish Lighting. So today we're going to take some video and show you an installation that we're doing in Salt Lake using Fat Track right against the house.
So on today's job, it's 467 feet. We got 3 lines coming out, so 3 home runs. And because of how awkward the job is, we have to have Fat Track installed on this house. And that means that all of our lines to get to starting points, because it has no attic, we have to cover our wire in the track, like our home runs. So basically we've got a home run going this way, and it starts right here because there's no attic to get from point A to point B. We highly advise not to run your wire in your track, because the screws, when you're doing this kind of install, you have to put zip screws in the side, so we could potentially hit the wire. So we've been really careful today, but we've got 2 home runs coming out this way. Everywhere where the black dots are is where there's going to be wire in track. To get to this section over here, because it's at a lower level, we had to run our wire in our track to right here and then jump to right there. That's what takes care of the whole right side of the house. Then for the wire that starts right here, that also is going inside. So 3 will be going into the controller, but 1 is going to jump from right here and start right here and take care of all of the upper line, and it'll die right there because he doesn't want this area done on the upper.
It's just not visible.
Right. And it's actually up there, it turns and stuff, so it's a little more.
You're also skipping lights on this side as well?
Nope. This side's going all the way.
Okay.
It's just this black dot is explaining where our jump's gonna stop while our home run to get to that point. We're not running it all the way in the track.
So what are your challenges with running wire and track?
The biggest challenge is usually screws and wires.
On the back you used a 14 gauge wire.
Right.
Now why did you use a 14 gauge wire instead of 16/4?
Because it's over 100 feet and we just didn't want to take the risk. It would be a mess if we had to come back and rerun this wire. We'd have to take down the whole back of the house. Okay. Just so we wanted to make sure that we're putting more power and more data through.
Okay, perfect.
And not installing the roof line above this. How are those jumps on it? We gotta jump from here to there.
The purpose of the Fat Track is in situations where we don't have soffit to attach to on a house like this, where we're gonna attach to this, and literally we don't have anywhere to attach our track technically. So what we do is we have what we call Fat Track. We'll go ahead and line it up. You know, you just line it up with the face of this so it stays nice and even. We'll end up marking right here where we're gonna bend the corner, so we can get our mark. So that'll be for the next piece. And then what we secure it with is just zip screws. Just get some zip screws, make sure that this is flush with the fascia, or the hair of the cap. Make sure it's flush with that, put your zip screw in, and then the track will slide inside. Once we have the lights, pop the lights in, it'll slide inside just like this. So after he finishes popping his lights in, we'll spin it. Yep, there you go. There you go.
Now you're running, is that a 14/4 or 16/4 you're running in it?
16/4. It's our home run. We ended up having to come out on the side of the house behind the downspout, and we ran it up, tucked it nice and neat. And so then, yeah, we're gonna run this all the way back. Okay. So we end up sliding it up in like so. You can push it too far sometimes. I usually try to give it just a little bit of leeway, so that way I know the light isn't being blocked or anything. Usually give it just maybe let it hang a hair, and then we use the same zip screws. Either use the exact color for the house, which is black, or if we don't, we paint it. And I have tan ones, so I will paint it after I zip it in.
Is there a safe spot to put in your screw that you're sure you're not going to hit a wire?
I usually come out a little bit away from the light so I don't hit the light, and then with the wire it kind of folds back on itself and will hide, so, and it'll kind of like pop up or go down. So usually I try to aim for the bottom, the lip, because I know how the light comes out, or the wire comes out from the light, it kind of comes up that little bit. So I usually try to come out right below it is where I'm aiming. So usually that usually works. I have very many times where I get the screw in the wire, unless I'm just not paying attention. I come up too high, I can hit the wire sometimes.
All right.
So it's kind of I feel like it works quite well, because you really don't know, because you can't see on the inside of there. So it's kind of just, you know, trying to figure out what's a good spot, and I feel like that's been good so far.
Good. Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. And then we will square this off. This will be my next piece, like I said. So I will go ahead, take my speed square. And I just square my line all the way around. Right here, and then you always make like a little miter or relief cut, so that way the track and everything can bend that corner. So now we will put it up, nice and neat where we want it, and we'll go ahead and put our screws in.